And we are back on the Rodriguez Show, and we have another special guest on this episode. He's here from the Bay Area visiting DaRapNerd. How's it going, man?
Yo!
Hey, what's good, man?
They can follow you on Instagram at DaRap Nerd, DaRapNerd.
Yeah, DaPrNerd. I think I spell right. DaRapNerd. There we go.
So you're visiting from the Bay Area. What brings you down to Orange County?
Man, this is actually my old stomping grounds in college.
Oh, okay.
I
Where'd you go to college?
I used to. I went to Biola, then I got kicked out of there. Went to Fullerton, and then ended up at Cal State Fullerton before the whole 2008 college cutoff time. But I saw a lot of good times, a lot of good memories, made a lot of good friends, and so
nice.
Just being back here is nice. Plus, met my wonderful partner out here.
Nice. Shout out to Cal State Fullerton. I went there too.
Oh, nice.
And so I met you at Noah James's event. How was that? It was the second party that he did. How was it?
Oh, his birthday party was lit.
Yeah.
It propaganda came through. Dirty Bird swung. Gosh, Dirty Bird was dope. Then they had this guy who sounded like Davison on the guitar. Was just had the place lit. It was done. Nice. Cam Archer was there too. Cam Gnarly came through. It was a lot of
both of the
folks, folks who know the IE dope scene.
Yeah,
were there last night. It was nice. It was nice.
Shout out Noah James, man. He did 3 events. I did a vlog at the one that he did in Fullerton, and then he just had his last one at in Ontario, right? The Firewater.
Yeah, Firewater.
Nice. Shout out to that venue too. We had the guy that owns it. One of the guys not too long ago.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. Yeah, nice venue. I love it. Those fun times.
Yeah, so you're here in Orange County, and we talked about how you've been making music for a while. Take us back to the beginning. How did it all get started for you?
Well, it was all a dream. No, it all really started back in 2013 when I did a competition for Ubisoft. They were trying to find who should we bring out for E3. So at the time, I was kind of hanging around with Dylan again with Sapien and Buku One, kind of as their intern. And I told them, I want to do it. And they said, well, just go ahead and try. So I made a rap, and the video's out there, actually. I recorded it in my kitchen, and I sent it off. It was a cheesy-ass beat, cheesy rap, but it had me as runner-up. They liked it, so they said, look, you didn't win, but everyone in the office loves it. They want to meet you. Come out to E3. So they caught me a full badge.
Damn, without even winning the contest.
Yeah. So I remember I booked this janky ass hotel inside LA. Downtown LA, it was the worst hostel ever. It looked pretty on the outside. Yeah. Go in my room. Itty bitty small.
That's funny.
It was me, the bed, and a few roaches.
No.
we were bunking up. I was like, damn, what's up? I was like, wow. But I was like, you know what? I'm not here for the experience. Right. So I would just dap them up, say, all right, guys, I'm leaving for the day. watch my gear, and just hit the streets. I was canvassing everything, and that paid off. Ended up doing more stuff, then started doing conventions, and then later on running into Mega Ran, Samus, who are major nerdcore hip hop icons, opening it for them, and then touring, going out to Texas, and right around that time where I'm kind of peaking, I had the biggest burnout in 2018, 2019.
What do you mean? You just couldn't?
I realized between 2013 and 2018, I was grinding hard. That's when I finally met Noah James and all of them. Because a lot of folks wouldn't really book me. Because I'm I'm too nerdy for the hip hop crowd. I'm too hip hop for the nerdy crowd. So trying to find that lane and that avenue was hard. But the homies who would say come rock with us, I had to go on my hip hop shit and just prove myself. So I was in ciphers, I was in battles, and folks oh, you're just a nerdy dude. I started barring out. They're like,
oh shit,
you're legit. Oh, I respect you now. Yeah. Then from the comment, oh, you make beats too? Oh, okay. Yeah. And so it just kind of grew, and I just me doing that proving ground was really dope. But then around 2018, 2019, just a lot of folks started getting sideways at my success, and just gonna hurt. Because I'm thinking I'm doing what you're supposed to do, right? Go through like Ash Ketchum, go and get your merit badges, right? But then you still don't want to become a Pokemon trainer. Dang, man,
you didn't make it yet. Yeah.
No. Yeah. And during that time, I had to learn that it's okay not to make it yet. It takes time to be recognized.
Yep.
And if you think that because you made a hot album just your first year coming in, you're supposed to be put on, that's a horrible lie. Only way that happens if you got money, capital.
Yeah.
You know, you got to pay.
Marketing and investing in yourself.
You got to, you know,
Yeah.
and at the time I didn't have the money. So I was like, I had to beat the pavement. So why am I mad doing it my way versus other people who have the money to do it their way? It's my ego at that point. And that's why I started learning about, oh shit, this is what ego's all about. This is what mental health is all about, you know?
Yeah.
And having to unpack all that and finding a place where realizing that, you know what, even though I may not have seen my success, going to Noah James' party was like a pure understanding of when you sow love, you reap love. Like the people that came out for his show,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I want, and that's what I've been doing. And so now, as I've been coming back out, starting up my own group, Bayokio, which is where hip hop meets anime. It's
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, and we started that back in August, and already we rocked with Mag West. We did a Halloween showcase, and we're getting ready to do Sec Anime. I can now announce that, and we're going to
dope.
be basically hosting a lot of events around the cast of the last Avatar: The Airbender.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and to think like if I would have just hung on to like, why aren't I getting put on versus I'm making my own way, and I'm also too putting the homies on. I'm hoping a lot of my friends now get exposed too. Where have I failed? Because I don't have the clout? Like that's meaningless.
Yeah.
But versus actually tangible success, real avenue, and plus my pocketbook feels nice now.
And it's something I tell, when we're trying to motivate ourselves to keep doing the show, it's like the artistic reward always has to come first. Because and then you as the more work you put into it, slowly but surely that financial stuff is gonna get there. You just gotta put in the work.
I ain't gonna lie though, it sucks when it ain't there though.
Oh, I know.
Like man, when J. Cole's to talk about eating ramen some nights. And not the actual good ramen, I mean the top ramen,
It's a struggle sometimes. Yeah, hell yeah.
Cut some hot dogs. That's the real struggle.
So backtracking a little bit to Noah James, you told me a story off mic about how you guys, linked up, and you want to talk about a little bit about that?
Man, I'll never forget. So, this is like during my origin story, but I think around 2015, after kind of finally meeting Mega Ran and kind of getting into the whole convention scene more and running and finally doing my own tour, I was trying to reach out to folks to do shows out in SoCal, just like cold calling. And a homie of mine was like, hey, you should go hit up Noah James. I'm like, Noah James? Who's that? I'm like, Pterodactyl? Oh, shoot. Him, Curtis King? I was like, he wouldn't talk to me. I'm a nobody. Dude, hit him up. And it was a Big Rob, because he got me a show one time out here. He's like, dude, talk to Noah. I was like, okay, hit him up. Hey, what's up? What do you do? Told him, I'm a nerdy hip hop artist. I'm from the Bay Area trying to do shows. Send my music. It's pretty dope. All right, we got open mic. Come slide through.
Just like that.
All right. So on my tour, and my first tour was nothing but open mics. I made sure to save enough money up for gas and food, but all open mic nights all throughout my tour. So I went down there, and I gotta give it to man. IE got some spitters, some hard spitters. And here my nerdy ass is, I'm like, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm like, these folks are really about this.
They're scary.
And so I get up there and have a song called Super Saiyan, and it's about Dragon Ball Z, and I spit it, and I'm watching the crowd, and all of a sudden they're feeling me. I'm like, oh dang, they really understood this stuff. And then, after do my set, I'm gonna hold the night, and then Noah's like, hey, rap, at the time my own name was Word Sound. Hey, Word Sound, I got a song for you. And then he plays this classic song, Majin Buu.
Yeah.
And I heard it. I was like, what is this? And then he played it. I was like, oh, stop. We're friends.
That's dope. Yeah.
And then ever since then, it's since he got me shows, down here in the IE, throughout SoCal, whenever he comes to the Bay, I'll book him shows. Book him up in San Jose, up in Oakland, up in SF, and make sure folks will come out for him. Book a whole good lineup, make sure you got taken care of. And then he starts to send me folks. I started sending him folks, and we just created a whole pipeline.
Nice.
Just it was like an underground pipeline helping folks kind of get in, from between the Bay and between SoCal. So yeah, it's kind of a long
Shout
story
out
short.
Noah James.
How's Noah James, man? The Sea King.
Yeah, and then so one of the things also you already talked about the group that you have going on over there. Well, what inspired the name of it, Bayoko?
So Bayokio. So what inspired it was I watched the movie Big Hero 6, and I hated the name San Francisco. I was like, San Francisco, really?
Yeah.
Like that's what you're gonna come up with, San Francisco? and I remember just joking. I was like, it should be called Bayokio. And my partner she was like, well, then do a showcase called Bayokio.
Yeah.
And so the first show I did was back in 2018 under that moniker, and I had Lexicon the Artist and Samus, and then a few other of my homies on there. And so we did that show, and people loved the name because I had this mock-up of this like black anime girl, and and I'm a flyer, kind of like it was a fireball, looking like a Sakura of a Street Fighter.
Okay.
And people were just like, what is this? I want to be a part of it. At the time, I thought nothing of it. I did like some cheap like graphics behind the scene, wanting from the IE because you guys are so ahead of the game out here. And I did it there. Folks loved it. But I thought one time show was shelf it.
Yeah.
So, and that's back in 2018. But during the whole pandemic and just seeing everything kind of unfold, people come trying to find new ways. And a lot of the pillars up in the Bay Area that hold showcases like ROTC, Tourette's Without Regrets, all started dying off because venues were closing. So there's nobody out there anymore. And I'm like, well, who's going to fill this void? And then, my friends were like, well, why not you? You have experience booking and doing shows. And I'm like, well, what do I call it? And then I was going through my phone. I saw the same old flyer. I was like, Bayokio. And I just sat with it. And I was like, well, how do I make it bigger and more inclusive? Because at the same time, you have Stop Asian Hate, the death of George Floyd, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, people need a safe place to be themselves. Then plus two in the Bay, it's just hot right now. People are getting shot up, bipped. It's wild. So I was like, you know what? Well, Bayokio, where hip hop meets anime. I know, just thinking back to my own journeys, how many hip hop heads who love anime, who love video games, and they're just made to feel ashamed about it.
Yeah.
What if you can just come out and be you? Doesn't mean you gotta be a rapper about nerdy stuff, but you can be a dope rapper who still wants to be in that anime crowd and scene.
Yeah.
And actually be allowed to exist. Because even in the nerdcore scene, they're very like anti-hip hop, but yet it's hip hop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you gonna hate what actually made you exist?
And I feel like the tide has changed, like over the years, because I've seen it growing up too. Like people that love anime and stuff like that. Like it's become more mainstream and more acceptable, just because the people are getting older, and it's like, okay, like you don't have to make fun of somebody for liking something that you don't like or something like
exactly.
that. Exactly.
And then plus two, now that folks can actually kind of read somewhat.
Yeah, it's true.
They're like, oh, this was actually pretty dope. I'm like, we've been telling you for years. Like, we've been known. Take a look. It's in the book, Reading Rainbow.
And then another thing I wanted to touch on, just moving on from that, even though that's dope. How many have you done of those events, by the way?
So far, we've done 4. We're getting when we come back home tomorrow, we get ready for our 5th one, which is for SAC Anime. That's the big one with the whole cast of Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Nice,
and for that one, I can say, so it's been dope to see the acts we've been get to come through. Because for our debut show, we had Bugseed come through.
Okay.
And Bugseed, and a lot of people think that Bugseed and Nujabes are on the same camp. They're not. Okay. Because Bugseed's success came from, he did a tribute for Nujabes when he passed. And Nujabes' biggest hit was Samurai Champloo. So that really kind of blew up for Bugseed. So when he finally came out here, a lot of folks thought that, even I thought, oh, you were Nujabes.
Associated, yeah.
He pulled me aside and he's like, no. Actually, he's like, Bugs is like, Nujabes is like the Jay Dilla for Japan.
Oh,
I was like, wait, hold on, what? He's like, the whole beat scene of Japan came from Nujabes.
Damn.
And he inspired me and a lot of my friends. And so when he passed, it was like losing our basically our ROG. Yeah. And so he never thought he would have this much love. Yeah. So I was like, dude, I saw him perform with the homies at Flip a Beat Club up in SAC. Shout out to them. They're dope people. And Mons was like, yo, you gotta meet Bugseed. Met him. I was like, I have an event. Bayokio, wanna come rock it? I'm thinking charge a huge fee. He's like, Bayokio. Told him what it was about. He's like, I'm there.
What?
I'm there. And he came through. People were wigging out.
Yeah.
His live set killed it. I then had him at Mag West.
Yeah.
I told the heads up there, I was like, hey, I got Bug Seed. And they're like, they all knew who he was. They're like, you got him?
That's crazy.
Man, that whole show, and our area packed out.
Yeah.
It was
That's
a packed
so cool.
event, man. So
It's from what I'm learning by your story, it's just a matter of like, why not just ask and see what happens?
Yeah. Like, the worst they can tell you is no.
Yeah.
And then they say no, then I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, but the other side of it is like great things happen from it, like everything you've been doing.
And even on the flip side, when they do say no, this is where knowing how to have the skills to hold yourself up regardless. Mm-hmm. Because there's been a few times where folks couldn't do it, I had to fill in, and I would kill it still no matter what. And people were still like, yo, this is amazing. This is, and I was thinking like, if I don't have these certain kind of headliner acts,
it's not going to be
no, it all depends from you. Mm-hmm. You are the main catalyst regardless. You're pulling people around close to you to help elevate you. But if you yourself are always solid, you're going to excel no matter what.
That's true. All right. So before we get to the performance and everything, I wanted to ask you and talk to you about how you started working with kids.
Man, that was a crazy experience because this came like around 2015, right after touring with Dell. And with Dell, like I was his assistant and also his like bassist for a while. So I was like up throughout the SoCal area, all around Cali and Canada. And when we had downtime, I didn't have work. So my former mentor was like, well, I do this after school program, come teach kids how to skate. I don't skate. But I'm down, but I'll learn anything. I'll learn how, and that's what makes me so adaptable. Mm-hmm. If I don't know it, I'll learn it. So I started learning it, and then I was like, well, I'm really good at beats. Well, I'll teach kids how to make beats. Started doing that. And then it just kept growing, and then I went from working with him, I ended up working with Today's Richest Sound, which does beat making like all across the world, the Bay Area. So I started working with them, and I was like, wait a minute. I can do this as an independent contractor and build myself up that way. Mm-hmm. So from there, then I was like, you know what? I still need more work to kind of sustain myself. So I started doing my own, under my own moniker, which is ODMC, which is Orion Digital Music Consulting, helping artists find their path. Mm-hmm. And that led me to working with Marshawn Lynch with Fan First, working with Richmond College Prep out in the Richmond area, and just different areas.
That's so cool.
And like and what set me apart was that I get how, as an artist, we want to put our imprint. I'd said no. I was like, I want to let the kids have their own sound. Mm-hmm. So go through what I went through. Your first piece is going to be trash. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first time I did that at a school, the principal got mad at me. She's like, what are you doing to the kids? Their music sounds horrible. I'm like, yeah, they're supposed to.
Yeah. You have to start from somewhere.
They're kids. It shouldn't be like all top notch. Like they gotta work their way up through it.
And the fact that they're starting so early, they're gonna get to that point way younger than anybody that started later.
And it was hard to get that buy-in at first because a lot of people who were kind of like still pioneering this avenue want to put out like the more glossy look. Mm-hmm. But I kept saying, no, that's wrong. They need to go through the ranks. Because that's what's going to give them the longevity. Mm-hmm. This quick praise is going to burn them out, give them false expectations, false hope, and when things don't go their way, they're going to crash and burn. Like how I did, like how all of us did, thinking this, if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to make it. No, X, Y, and Z may equal a result, but it won't equal the actual outcome you really want. Yeah. And so now, because I stayed true on that philosophy, I've been doing this now since, 2013 is when I started. Now for 10 years, right before COVID, I started Fan First Fest, which is a youth-ran festival. Mm. We did it in 2017, 2018, and then in 2019 was about to be our third big year, and it started growing. 2017 it was like 50 heads, and the venue capacity was like 200. And the following year, we maxed out the whole venue.
Dang.
And the kids are running it all.
What?
And so they do the sound, they do the camera work, they do the promotion, and they're the headliners. They had other schools come through and perform with them. It was big. Damn. It was like really, really dope. And so we were getting ready to do the next one, and then that's when COVID hit. Yeah. And then that shut everything down. And so we're getting ready to do that again in 2023 now. I'm super excited for it. So that's why I get back home.
Amazing.
We're back at it again. So that's coming back up. And what's most beautiful about it is when you see the kids perform their original music and content. They're writing their own raps. They're working on the beats. Like, I even teach them how to record, and lightweight how to mix, and they get into it. Like, one of the coolest things was having little girls be like, I want to be a audio engineer when I grow up.
Oh wow!
They're like, I want to be an audio engineer.
That's crazy.
This single that I sent you guys right now, every Christmas, this girl, her name is she goes by DJ Helen, 4th grader. This kid, so last year when she first started the program, couldn't make a beat, but she wanted to learn. Went through the process. She got frustrated, and that's what I want them to do, because it's gonna teach you that this takes time to get there. It takes and also endurance. And she stuck it out. I was still, I was by her side, helped them through it, and then she started making beats. They were coming out fire, but they're mostly still loops. So it's all right, now take out the training wheels. How to actually drum program, how to actually start adding in melodies.
Damn.
And she came up with this dope sample that she found, programmed the drums the way that she wanted to. And I sat there you're only in the 4th grade. And this little loop that you have sounds like something I would hear for someone major.
Yeah.
That's you know amazing. What I mean? And then even last year, one kid did a whole arrangement that he did using Soundtrap, and the beat was so dope. I said to her wait, you didn't put that together? He's like, yeah, I did. Show me his whole session. I sat there these kids are actually learning.
Yeah.
And then I went to the director. I was like, look what the kids are doing. She's like, keep doing more.
Yeah, of course.
And so it was the path that I had the kids on is the right path. Yeah. Let them go through the hardships. Let them fall down. Doesn't mean I kick them while they're down. No, I pick them up, dust their knees off, and try again.
Keep going.
I really apply the philosophy of Uncle Ira when he was training Zuko. Be patient with them, play with them. They're gonna get feisty. It's all right. I'm not scared of you, because I see some real stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
But I do get it. You're trying to find your way. That's why I'm here. So let's find it out together. And that single, you guys folks hear it, you were like, a kid made this?
Yeah.
And then all I did was just go back and just help bring it forward more.
Tweak it a little bit.
More. And then even with the rap, I would check in with them. I would ask them, is this okay with you? Yeah. Does this meet your vision?
Yeah.
Put them in the driver's seat. If they don't like it, I have to scrap it. And that level of ownership, dope.
Dang. It's empowering for that to get that level of creativity that young and to know what that feels like. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I already know that years to come they're gonna be a powerhouse. These kids are gonna be dope. Even doing the music video, I showed them how to do the lighting, set everything up. I had the kids behind the camera, showing them how to do the panning, the movements, and the video came out dope too. I'm just if you give the kids the tools, be patient with the lesson plan. Know that it won't be a success the first year. This is not stand and deliver. This is not Freedom Writers.
That's funny.
You're gonna go through some things because, and the real thing is that the kids don't know you. Folks come through sadly doing this work just for the clout and for the money. If you're gonna be about it, you gotta be willing to sometimes, what I did. I told you, come off screen. Before I came back out now as an artist again, I took a year off because coming out of lockdown, these kids couldn't barely even read or write. They couldn't do math. So here I am trying to I want the kids, and they can't even spell their name.
Yeah, you
no, man, I don't feel right doing that. So I was artist hat come down. I started tutoring again, showing up every day, just being there after school. Still work with them on some beats, but mostly focus on their education. That gave me more buy-in with them and the school.
Yeah.
So then now bringing the arts back around, now they're more open to it. Now they're more excited about it. Now they see it while I tell them your education and your art goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Knowing how to write, knowing how to actually rap. Just before I left for Christmas, a 4th grade English teacher had me come in and do a whole lecture about poetry and writing and recording. And I showed them how as a rapper, you gotta know your similes, your metaphors, your idioms.
Yeah.
How to rhyme your words. And then the kids sat down and they wrote their raps and then they got in front of the microphone. They had fun.
Well, you're doing some great work, and we appreciate coming down and hanging out with us for a little bit. And, it's very inspirational what you're doing, and it's just so cool to somebody that like you said, some people just say they want to do it or they do it say for the clout, but you're actually doing the work. and that's amazing, man.
Oh, man, I'm humbled. Proud ups to all my, clients I work with, Today Teach Sound, Fan First Family, Richmond College Prep. Proud to all my students, all my mentors, whether we're still together or not, and just even to my family and friends. Like it's been a journey. Hasn't been easy. It's been grueling sometimes, but the fruit now that I'm seeing, totally, it's worth it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
All right, so we're going to get into the performance of the song that you were talking about. Before we do that, though, we have a segment called 60 Seconds With. You ready for this?
Hold on, get some water.
So it's just going to be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the question.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. 60 Seconds with the Rap Nerd.
Okay.
Favorite cartoon character?
Samurai Jack.
Favorite song right now?
Do Better. Absol.
One word to describe you when you were a kid. Do you have a hidden talent?
No.
Netflix, Hulu, or HBO?
Why not Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. Yeah. Name of your best friend in high school?
Oh, Maurice.
First CD you ever bought?
Tribe Called Quest.
First song you illegally downloaded?
Metallica.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, Amadeus.
Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Dave Chappelle.
Jim Carrey or Will Ferrell?
Jim Carrey.
Rappin' Drake or R&B Drake?
Rappin' Drake.
Favorite non-hip hop genre?
Emo.
Spotify, Apple Music, or Tidal?
Apple Music.
Sports car or classic car?
Classic car.
And your favorite thing about hip hop?
Hip hop.
All right, that was 60 seconds.
That was hard. Oh, man. I was like,
All right, you're performing the single that you created with, you said, a fourth grade producer?
Yeah, DJ Helen.
Hey, DJ Helen.
DJ Helen.
This is every Christmas performing right now. This is the Rap Nerd on the Rodriguez Show.
They just wanna waste the day and just complain to finally say, 'cause every time on Christmas, my family's always tripping. Look, nerd, waking up 2 in the morning with my little bro, trying to find Santa and tell him he better pay it, yo. We been doing good all year, give me that 64, playing Mario, going stupid on the Smash Bros. It was back in the day, playing video games, go outside and we play, yeah. Call the homies and ride, new bikes we fly, we love Christmas time, yeah. Didn't matter what your faith was. Happy Hanukkah, Boxing Day, or Kwanzaa. Open gifts at midnight and eat nice. Tamales from tea with beans and rice. These are the best of times of my life. But for some, the worst of times of their life. That's why I choose to give love and pure light. And wish you the best of days of your life. 'Cause every time on Christmas, my family's always tripping. They forgot the meaning, it's about love, it's about, 'cause every time on Christmas, my family's always tripping. They forgot the meaning, it's about love, it's about, yo. Every time on Christmas, my family's always tripping. They forgot the meaning, it's about love, it's about. 'Cause every time on Christmas, my family's always tripping. They forgot the meaning. It's about love. It's about Rap Nerd. Pass out to DJ Howland. She made the beat. My kids at RCP. Love you guys, man. Rap Nerd. Peace.